And we're on the punchline. What Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez doing a remote from our gym today, but it's open house.
Dude, it seems like we haven't been on the show for like months. I know we just did a show 2 weeks ago, but it seems like it's been months since we've done a show. But you were in Jersey doing a golf.
This is true.
Well, it was a charity event for golf, right?
It was nice too. Showtime boxing, all that fun stuff.
The dude from Sopranos were there.
Yes, I got a picture.
I was jealous, man.
Vincent Pastore.
That was
Big Pussy.
Big Pussy.
Yeah,
dude, I was so jealous. He was one of my favorite characters. How about you, Justin? Did you like Big Pussy? Dude, oh man, he kind of went out the hard way though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did you think Adriana was hot?
Don't shoot me.
Did you think Adriana was hot on the show?
Yeah.
Did you?
He's like, don't shoot me in the face.
Right? He wanted to be.
But then he tried coming back, kissing ass after that. I don't blame him though.
No.
Like he really went swimming with the fishes.
Dude, he knew, but I had a feeling he knew that he wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
On that boat ride. You know, sometimes.
Yeah, he was very uncomfortable on that boat ride there.
Wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. What's up, Steve? So yeah, there's we could talk about some of the. I guess we could talk about that on the show tonight about some of like arguments today on the Facebook
and some of the other things going on. But you know what though?
We're not going to holler at nobody.
I'm not hollering. I will, but no. Jason says, "What's up? What's up, Jason?"
What's that?
Amy said, Amy Green says, it's me and Maggie at nail appointment time.
What's up, Darnell? What's up, DMX?
Tell Maggie I said hi. Felix is watching.
Darnell he's been on the Instagram watching.
Well, that's good.
It's always good to have Darnell Boone. He's fought everybody. He's fought world champions. He's knocked world champions out, and
he fucked Kovalev up.
He did.
I don't care what anybody says. He beat Kovalev's ass. But
Jose, what's up, guys? Shit, we're getting ready to talk to you guys about the state of the game.
There's so much going on, but not.
No, really.
No, there's so much going on, but there's not. You know what I mean? We got some fights coming, but hey, we should jump right in. You want to jump right into Kovalev?
Yeah, we can.
Man, did you see that coming? You did. I know you did.
Yeah, because I keep saying this hard. It's another one of them fights like with Pacquiao for me. Kovalev's at that age. He's getting older. I don't know who's going to show up. We don't know what Kovalev's going to show up to camp because we've heard.
He looked great though.
The last 5 fights, 6 fights of his. Hey, he ain't doing this, he ain't doing that. But he always turns around, and when camp is going bad, he does great. When camp's going great, he does bad.
Well, we've seen him. I've seen him how many times? Yeah. We've seen him in camp, and I've seen what he's done in him. But the guy hits hard, man. He's strong.
Exactly, and a lot of people. And not only was he strong and he hits hard. Listen, to still land punches, everybody's saying his technical skill is bad. To still be able to land punches, you got to have somewhat speed and technical skill.
I don't see no technical problems. The dude had over 258
fights. That's what I'm
fights,
saying. He's good. I mean, come on, with the pound for pound great and Andre Ward.
Yeah.
The first fight was.
I think he beat Ward in the first fight.
Exactly, and somebody today said Ward exposed him. Okay, listen, you don't get exposed by fighting a pound for pound top fighter. Okay, that's not getting exposed. Yeah. So I mean, for the most part, I thought a lot of people were picking Yardy, not to like beat up on Kovalev.
I did. I thought that Kovalev would win the fight, but I didn't know how good Yardy was. I've never really seen him fight other than clips, But I was concerned because of the big muscle that guy carried in the ring, and I just didn't see enough of him.
Yeah.
But Chris Mealy says, "How's it going, Punchline?" It's doing good, Chris. Jeff Brock. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Darren, we're back on Tuesdays, guys, because of football season, and we don't compete with the NFL or college because we will not come out on the winning side of that.
Steve Z says, Darnell Boone's a tough draw for anyone. Absolutely.
Yep.
And Johnny Vultures goes, hey, Kelly, how's it going? Do you think boxing is as popular today as it was 15, 20 years ago? I think it's making its way.
The 90s and the early 2000s was a kind of a golden age.
Yeah. But 15, 20 years ago is the early 2000s. So, I would say, you still had De La Hoya and Mayweather flying around. But I think today, you have more outlets. You have The Zone. You have ESPN Plus. It's easier for people to access these fights and big fights. So,
but you remember like in the late 90s and mid 90s. I know you were watching boxing. You were a little squirt, but every weight class was stacked with good fighters. There wasn't a weight class that did not have a good fighter in it. Mm-hmm. Like now you might have one weight class that's not real stacked, and you have another one that's really good. Mm-hmm. That wasn't a case in the 90s. Every weight class you had somebody that could fight.
You did.
You mean bantamweight? You had Nassim Hamed, junior featherweight. You had Eric Morales and Barrera, and even then you went lightweight. It was fucking nuts. You had Oscar.
You had Pacquiao.
Pacquiao at featherweight.
Darnell said they called me to fight Yardy, but it was 3 days' notice. I didn't take it.
He would have beat him.
Yeah.
He would have beat Yardy. He should have took it.
Would have. 3 days is short notice, though.
It is really short notice, but Darnell stays in pretty good shape year round anyway, though.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't be the first time he took one on 3 days.
No, and with that kind, it depends what they're paying too. But Timothy said, with Kovalev, do you guys think the second Ward fight was stopped prematurely? No. Looking at Kovalev's facial expressions, it looked like he may have got hit low. Hey, that body shot sanked everything from him. I don't think he would have recovered from what.
That football wasn't doing well. Damon says, "Sup, fellas? What's up, Damon?
What's up, Keon? How everything? Keon, one of my favorite boxing shows, Keon Everything Boxing. He has a great boxing show. I always tune into it.
You said about IOTBA.
I did not say that about them, but he's cool. He's cool. I like him.
Like him.
I like him too. You know what though? He looks out for us when we go to Texas. I like him. Michael
Donahue says, thoughts on Yardy not sparring at all? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, they say he didn't spar at all for the fight. But, I've heard different things. You remember when Rudy brought Alvarado? He didn't spar him at all. Remember, he wanted him to get back to basics.
I personally think you have to spar.
You should.
But it was some guys. I mean, is it the first camp that he hasn't sparred? I mean, is this a regular thing he does in camp?
I don't know. I have no idea. I've heard. I don't know, Kelly. Maybe you can answer it. They've said that for a championship fight, you should spar no less than 150 rounds. No less than 150. What do you think?
No, I think if you get no sparring, if you're sparring 3 days a week, I think you should do a 12-rounder one time to get it in. Yeah. So that way you know. But you think the 12-rounder is more for here?
You think throughout camp that you should do at least 150 rounds? Because I know some are doing well over 300.
Yeah, I would say between 100 and 150.
Yeah, that's about.
Do a couple 4, 6. Start off. Start off at camp. Get your timing, your speed. Then middle of camp, you should be up to about 8. Couple 10. And then I think I always did it a week and a day before the fight. Yeah. I would get my 12-round, a week and 3 days before the fight. I would get my 12-rounder in. That was for here to know that I could do 12 rounds.
Yes.
And then we always finish with a 4-rounder on a Friday. And,
do you think it's a detriment to have 300 rounds of sparring? Like you'll see guys like Lomachenko who does 300 rounds, and
but Lomachenko is one of the rare fighters.
Mikey does 300 rounds.
Where with their defense, that they could get away with it, and not take the punishment. Listen, it's not so much for the fight either. It's your life. I mean, the 300 rounds.
That's a fucking lot of rounds.
You're talking 25 years down the line, 20 years down the line.
You're averaging what? 10? If you're doing 6 weeks, how many rounds is that a day for 3 days a week? You're only sparring 3 days a week, right?
Yeah.
Oxnard spar 3 days a week. They don't spar Sundays. They don't train Sundays.
No, I used to. It was the same.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right?
Even with Jack, I was 3 days a week.
So you're doing 10 rounds a day.
Yeah, but Jack, we always started off 4, 6, 8, 10, and probably about 4 times or 3 times 10 rounds. Yeah. Did 1 12-round.
Yeah.
What we got here? Damon says, but a focused Kovalev is a solid 225 fight night with a long jab and keeps it pumping.
It's fucking big.
Who you guys see him facing next?
Bivol would be a nice little fight. The winner of Vostik and Beater beef is something that would happen.
Who's the hardest person you had to fight? I don't know. I got obviously probably Martinez is up there. Taylor, Miranda, Hopkins. I mean, there was a lot of guys that I fought. They were all tough in their own way.
Who was the best fighter that was not famous or a world champion that you fought? That somebody that just surprised you. You got in and was like, what the?
Well, he didn't kind of surprise me, but the fucking Zuniga.
That dude was a world champion. That dude was an Olympian though.
And you got to remember this too with Zuniga. He was 17-1 with 16 knockouts.
He was a Mexican Olympian, right?
Colombian.
17-1
with 16 knockouts, signed by Top Rank.
Yeah. Top
Rank just ain't going to sign you.
No.
And nobody would fight that dude. And I wouldn't have fought him at that time for the NABF title.
He surprised you, huh?
Yeah.
Who was the one in the yellow that you knocked out? The Olympian. He was in the yellow, the Mexican guy. You knocked him in the referee went with him? You hit
Zartucci.
Zartucci was Olympian, wasn't he? Was he tough? Was he hard?
Yeah, there's another one. A lot of people avoided Zartucci.
That fucker could crack, huh?
Yeah, because he was a dangerous fighter, and the reward wasn't there for that fight, and people avoided Zartucci. But I don't. But let's go into let's get into the debate on Kovalev versus Canelo. Let's talk about that.
I heard a lot of people. You know what though? Before we get at Kelly, I hear. You know what? Canelo could do about anything, and people shit on Canelo. Don't matter what. It don't matter who he fights. It don't matter. Oh, he's a steroid cheat. He's a bum. Look. Do I think he should be fighting Kovalev? Absolutely not. I think Kovalev's just too fucking big. Skill-wise, Canelo might be the better fighter, but what I try to explain to people is the strength, and that strength is a whole different ballgame. You have a guy that's weighing at 175, but he walks around at 235. He's not walking around at 190 like Canelo. Yep. When you put that strength and that strength and that heavy ass body on top of him, you know that wears on you. And I heard somebody say, "Well, Canelo can just slip and move." When does Canelo ever just use his feet to get out of trouble? He doesn't.
He's slick though. Blah blah.
Upper body slick. I don't think his feet are slick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you mean
he's not Floyd Mayweather.
No, you're right. That's what I'm saying. Like Canelo is great at middleweight, and he's by far the best, and he could clear out that. I think you still got Saunders maybe between 60 and 68 or catchweight. Andrade, Charlo. I think he still has business to take care of there.
Yes.
I don't think he fought two of the top guys at middleweight. And one was two big, decent sized middleweights. Well, Jacobs is a big middleweight, and he had close fights that were controversial. He don't even beat. He's not even a top super middleweight right now.
No.
So let Canelo be great. I mean, he's already making history, climbing up the way he did. You cannot pick on the people he's fought. He's fought a lot of top guys.
Yeah.
When you start getting into the Benavidez at 68, so we're talking about that. He may not beat him, let alone a guy coming down from 220
I don't see
plus
him,
pounds.
I don't see him beating Benavidez or Bivol, who's moved in 60, who's moving to 68.
Exactly. So
that's a different tiger, fucking Bivol.
Yep.
But it's always something.
Leave it alone.
Chris says Canelo only because Canelo's prime and Kovalev. Yeah, but that strength, man, and that body weight is going to wear on you.
That prime is not going to. Everybody keeps saying that with Kovalev. He's beating guys. Kovalev will land on Canelo. Canelo's not notorious for having conditioning in the later rounds. No. What do you think what's going to happen when he's taking punches from a guy that's 200 pounds on fight night?
210. That's
used to getting hit by guys that are 210 pounds on fight night. And now he's hitting the guy that's 170 pounds on fight night.
Yeah.
How do you think that body's going to carry come 7th, 8th, 9th round?
We'll get to all your questions, guys. I don't want to bounce around, but we will get to it. Kendall Gould, one of the best amateurs in the country, I think, in U.S. history. I think is one of the best. Good friend of ours. He said, "What's up, guys? A lot of hours at work have kept me from tuning in." Well, you really fucked us over on that, Kendall. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for kicking us in the balls with cleats. Sean says, "Can Farmer win on points against Davis, or does Davis knock him out?" I don't see any scenario where Farmer can beat Davis. I think Davis is just getting better and better every time we see him fight.
Yeah. Coach Tony, I want to hit this Instagram.
Okay.
Canelo has trouble with guys that can move. Think Sandera actually gives him a lot of trouble.
Who?
What are you trying to say? Canelo, maybe? No, Canelo actually gives him. Think Sanders actually gives him a lot of trouble. Yeah, but I don't think Sanders is that hard, or that good. Like I said before, Sanders tried to copy Sergio Martinez style. And I don't think he's quite as good as Sergio Martinez. And I'm not saying that because I fought Sergio.
No, Sergio is a monster. He's a Hall of Famer. Honest. But that's the thing.
Darnell says Saunders is a dog in there.
You can move like that, but he doesn't. You have to hit hard enough to keep Canelo off you. You have to get. I don't think he hits hard enough to keep him off.
I don't either. I think Canelo will break down that body.
And eventually, whether you move or not, you are going to get caught. You can't move all night.
Yeah, Fury Unit says, I think Crusher would win. I'm not a fan of Canelo, but he could take a big punch.
I've never seen him hurt. Have you?
No. And
Triple G, he ate everything that Triple G
And
had.
we're not saying that, I'm not saying that Kovalev's going to knock him out. I'm saying Kovalev could fight Kovalev. The first fight was a controversial fight with the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in boxing, Andre Ward. So obviously he could fight enough, and he's fast enough and technical enough to make a fight that close where everybody had him, or a handful of people had him beating Andre Ward.
Yeah.
The guy could fight. And plus, again, I'm not going to keep harping on it, but he's coming down. Canelo struggled with Danny Jacobs and Triple G in some very close fights at middleweight. Now you're talking about
Two
him
weight
going up
classes.
to fight 2 weight classes, a guy who is coming down from 220, 215,
230.
fighting other guys that are 220
He
on
was
fight night.
235 at Ward 1 because we were in camp. Me and Roger Wilman were in camp. We saw him get weighed. And you know who else? Robert Garcia. If you don't believe me, Robert Garcia will verify the weight too because we did an episode of the Fight Game, was running that episode, and they made them delete that, take that off the footage of his weight because he was 235.
So that's what I'm saying. Like that's the big difference. And it's not like Canelo could like be in that type of shape where he's gonna wait for him to tire out in later rounds. Canelo gets tired in the later rounds, and he definitely will get tired trying to push that big body around in later rounds.
The Sweet Science class is a good question for you, Kelly. What's Triple G and Kova's punching power comparison? I know Kova's stronger, but as far as ring presence, as far as punching power, I really don't know. It's probably two different worlds. Just one's a heavier punch and the other one is a knockout punch. So what do you think? It's kind of hard to say. They're 2 weight classes apart.
I think because of the way Triple G fights, this is more devistating.
But he's fighting smaller guys.
If you're to take that and put it on a heavy bag that measure the punch force, Kovalev, because he's bigger and a trained fighter to throw the punch. But I think pound for pound, I'm going to go with Triple G though because it seems like his punches overall does more damage than Kovalev.
Dax Khan, one of the best boxing writers I think around. And also reporters. He said, I think this fight is being overthought by the public and very well might not happen. I agree, Dax.
Darnell said he don't think Canelo has the power at 160. And I agree, Darnell, but at that weight, that's like the fine line where he could still get away and outbox people at 160 because he's just at that size and he beat the 2 best guys, in my opinion, at middleweight, and he could beat the rest of the guys at middleweight. But now when you start moving up to fight a 6'3" David Benavidez, a kid that could fight and that's coming down from 200 pounds.
Or a B-ball. That's 5'11", but can crack.
But yeah, and can fight. And he's been fighting guys that are coming down from 200 pounds. And then you're talking about even going up a weight class higher to fight a guy like Kovalev. I think that's where it's biting off more than you could chew.
Yeah.
You barely got past the top 2 middleweights. Okay? So, again, Canelo, in my opinion, is one of the top 3 pound-for-pound guys. And if you have him number 1, I don't have an argument with that. Yeah. He's not my number 1, but I don't have an argument. I don't think it's a bad decision or call.
No.
But I think that you have weight classes. They always say it for a reason. Some guys, you can do that in the smaller weight classes. You could jump up higher and get to like around the welterweight, maybe junior middleweight like a Pacquiao, Mayweather, De La Hoya did. But when you start Crawford, but when you start getting from that 147 and talking about going to 175, it's a whole different ball game, guys. And I'm just telling you that out of experience.
Dude, I remember, and I know it's not the same, but I remember getting ready for a all-army team at USERA. And I remember the only guy I could spar with was like 165. Remember that amateur weight when they had that weight? Mm-hmm. He was 165. I was 47. First time I got hit with him, I felt my spine shake. And it was only, I was 47 to 65. I probably weighed 52 or something. I was probably 80 or 75. But he hit me, and I actually felt my spine like shake. Yeah. Even my hair hurt when that dude hit me.
I know.
Yeah, I'm sure you sparred with bigger guys like that too, right?
It's different, man. It's just a different experience. You got big guys.
Weren't you sparring full heavyweights at Top Rank Gym? Weren't you?
Yeah, it was, and even in Akron, I sparred the number 1 amateur heavyweight, Nick Furtha,
240-pound men,
and dropped him.
Yeah.
Dave Martinez goes, "Oh shit, Instagram." K8 Kisses says, "There's my homies. What's up?" I think that's Caitlin.
Oh, I love Caitlin. She's so cool.
I do too. She's my
ride or die, huh?
Buddy. Blah blah goes, Kelly, you and your prime versus Triple G in his prime. Me and my brothers talk about this. Unstoppable force meets immovable object. I think I you know what? I don't pick myself many times, but I honestly, in that fight with a guy like Triple G never fought a guy with my punch output
and your size.
And at my size, and then now on top of that, my power.
You made Danny Jacobs look little.
Yeah, and I've fought guys that could hit, and I've never been knocked out. I fought Hopkins at our light heavyweight when I was a middleweight. Now,
Miranda.
Not that Hopkins is a knockout puncher, but I got dropped by a fluke by Taylor, but I got up. I never got knocked out, so I don't think Triple G would have knocked me out, and Triple G was not going to have me in fear. No. Like he does with most of his fighters. He was not going to back me up, and he's there to be hit. I think it would have been a whole different ball game and a whole different world that Triple G would be in.
Yeah.
Fighting a guy like me.
And you know what's he gonna do when Triple G's fighting a guy who throws 80 punches per round that can throw
Power shots.
and 60 of them are power shots.
Yeah.
You throw 20 jabs and you're throwing 20 jabs and 60 of them are power shots. You know.
That's my question on it. So I mean, you guys could take that and add it in and whatever you think.
Dax said with the size of fighters today, Hurd and 154 pounds, Canelo and Triple G are small middleweights. They are small middleweights. There's no way to even argue with that. But it also goes to show on their ability and their skill how good they are for being that small. Darren says Canelo has so many opponents to fight at 160 at the zone. To go after Kovalev is kind of crazy. I guess he thinks his body beats Kovalev. You know, I think that Canelo's right now is just at a place where he's trying to dare to be great, but you have time. You have time to do that. You don't need to do it.
Yeah, Michael Donahue. Here's a good one. How would Spence do at middleweight? Everyone is talking about him versus Canelo, which I think Canelo would win that.
I think he does fantastic
at middleweight.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's a big guy. He's a big kid. Maybe junior middleweight. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, as they just mentioned, let him go to junior middleweight first.
Yeah.
Let him fight a Hurd.
Yes.
Let him fight them guys and see how he does and how his power carries up to that weight and how he could take those punches. And then, you know what? If he goes in there and walks through them, then I would say, you know what? It'll be a good fight with Tim and Canelo.
Well, look at the kid that fought. What was the kid that fought? The Russian kid that fought Mikey, and he's already fucking moving. That kid's a power. That kid's a monster. The Russian kid. He fought Mikey. Do you remember at 140?
Lipinets.
Lipinets. He's moving up like that. He's already 47 and he's knocking people out. This is a monster.
Damon has a good one.
What's that?
Guys, 175. Who wins between Antonio Tarver and Kovalev?
Ooh. Which Tarver? A prime Tarver and prime Kovalev? Or are you talking about older?
Let's go with the one that beat Jones.
I would say Tarver. I would have to go to Antonio Tarver.
It's hard to go against Kovalev, though. I'm telling you guys. Like, he fucking does shit. And I know, like, I go, how does he makes fights close. He wins. He beats top guys. Andre Ward, in my opinion, is one of the, like, you could mention Andre Ward maybe in the top 15 all-time fighters of all time. Yeah. And he gave that guy, it was a controversial fight in that first fight.
And then he came back the other fight and got knocked out by a guy with only one knuckle.
I understand. But he knows how to.
But you don't know who you're going to get. That's the thing with him. He's like, and I tell people, he's like the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde of boxing. You don't know who's going to show up.
And it's hard to bet with him.
But I think he'd look good with Buddy McGirt. I really do. I couldn't find fault in him.
I still may have to go with Tarver. I mean, Tarver was a rangy.
He had power too.
He did, and I just don't know what happened. Like, my thing is when a guy like because Kovalev hits, he got heavy hands.
No, he does.
When he starts hitting that, and he takes people's spirit and soul away by going to the body with those little shots.
Kovalev can be hurt though. We saw in the 8th round he was ready to go against Yardy too.
That's true.
And Tarver can crack.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And I think Tarver's going to hit him because Tarver got the reach.
Chris just asked this off topic: Nonito Donaire versus Inoue. I'm going to have to go with Inoue within the first 3 or 4 rounds. And I love Nonito, but
I'm more interested in that fight. I mean, my common sense is telling me Inoue.
Yeah.
But my heart's saying that this Donaire he's that old veteran dog that may have something up the sleeve and still got good enough boxing ability that he can make that into a fight.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're right. It's true. But I mean, there's no way that you know what's funny though? We've been guys like me and Jason Bailey and Damon and some of these other guys. We've been talking about Inoue since like 2013 when he first came through, and fight. Everybody was like, "Oh, we don't even know who that guy is." Inoue who? I'm like, okay.
And I will tell you, I'll be the first to say that I for a while didn't know, and but as I watch him, I'm just going like, this dude's a bad dude.
This dude, he may be pound for pound the best puncher in boxing. He may be. I mean, pound for pound the hardest puncher. I'm not talking about size. I'm not talking about it'd be him or Wilder. But and it'd be like, well, Wilder heavyweight. That's not what I mean. I'm saying pound for pound, guys. Like,
when is that fight supposed to take place?
I think it's November, right? I believe it's November. But there's so many good fights coming. We got what, October? We have Vostik and Breedorff at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
We may need to make that one.
We will make that.
You gonna walk Vostik out this time?
You have to ask him if he wants me to.
He wanted you the one
I'm
time.
gonna be like, dude, listen.
Look, man, I didn't want to do it on your first pro fight when we were there because you weren't at my level. But now
you're big now, and I'm big. I can be your bodyguard.
He was so excited to meet you, wasn't he? That was his pro debut, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. Jake Miller, Prime Loma versus Prime Manny.
I would take Loma. I would take Lomachenko.
All right, well, I got corrected by Francesca.
What's that?
It's not Yardy, Jamaican Mafia, but pronounced Yard.
Yard.
All right, I'll take that. Hey, listen, with names, I can take the help.
Yeah.
Baba said, anyway, crazy. Fat Lazy goes, Ghost has personal problems outside of boxing, like argument with wife, dead pet, family issues, ever affected your performance in a fight? Or were you 100% always focused? Fight always 100% focused.
Other than the flu or something, huh?
Well, with the Hopkins, with the bronchitis, but you're obviously still focused on the fight.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing with me. Like, all my camps were always fucking full go. The only camp where I didn't go full go was the one that I ended up canceling that was supposed to be in Youngstown. And there was a lot of shit behind that. And that was actually when I ended up going to Oxnard.
Yeah.
But for the most part, when I got in camp, it was go time.
What fight was that you had staph infection on your hand?
We ended up canceling. That was after going into the Rubio.
Okay. Yeah, guys, there's so many good questions in here. It's okay, Scott. Scott's late. He said he's sorry. But yeah, Sweet Science says, Inoue is a modern-day Jones Jr. the way he's making top guys look pedestrian. I agree. He just makes it look easy right now. Right now I'm on board. I'm not going to say I'm going to have him top. I know people have him like top 3 pound for pound and all that. I'm like, stop. We'll see after Nonito. But right now I have Inoue top 5. I could put him in that 5 spot.
Oh, yeah, arguably. I mean, definitely.
We have to.
Hi, Sarah.
We have to move Usyk out of the pound for pound list because he moved to heavyweight. That's why I feel like if you're a heavyweight now, you're not a cruiserweight. You're not a pound for pound guy anymore. If you moved up to another weight class, you have to come out again, right? Do you think so?
No, probably not in my opinion.
No?
He kind of cleared the cruiserweight.
Yeah.
You know, I guess, you know what, he could sit idle until we see what he does at heavyweight.
Yeah.
Until the first fight at heavyweight. Yep.
Furman says, I think Julian Jackson was the hardest puncher pound for pound. Who is your number 1 for a pound?
Ooh.
The hardest puncher? Edwin Valero, I have, is probably the hardest puncher ever. But Julian Jackson is a great pick.
Yeah,
pound for pound
and then
too.
you could go back to the other one, Gerald
McClellan. Joe McClellan, definitely.
McClellan,
not to shit, but you're ranked 3rd of all time in middleweight punchers. Did you see on the YouTube video?
This is true.
Did you see the YouTube video where they had middleweight's hardest punchers?
No.
You were on there.
Was I?
Yeah, but guess what? No, let me stop you. You got honorable mention. They had Harry Greb and Walker and Mickey Walker over you. I'm like 2 guys from the 1920s that no one's ever seen fight.
Fuck. I'm still up in there.
So I puffed
my chest out.
They had Roberto Duran. I said, was he a fucking middleweight? He was, but.
All right, well, let's get back to these ones. I got to get some of these
all right.
YouTube because YouTube's important.
Yes, it is. Ease.
All right. We didn't answer the Prime Loma versus Manny. Oh, yeah, Shaver's hardest puncher for sure. Ohio.
I can see that.
We knew, guess who mentioned that?
Who?
Marcus.
Oh,
Ohio.
Marcus, yeah. Ohio is boxing. That's a good pick.
How dare you guys forget that?
That's a good pick.
Okay, let's go with this one first. Let's get these guys answered real quick. Prime Loma versus Manny.
I got Lomachenko.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got to. I think that it would have been too hard for Manny to come in because Manny was fast. Don't get me wrong, one of the fastest I've seen, and fast on his feet coming in, but he was straight in. And I think at that point, that's where Loma would have.
He made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, Loma would have ate him up.
The same way Eric Morales did. He made him pay every time he stepped in. He jumped in with his chin up in there. Eric Morales would catch him on that. He would punch between Manny's punches.
But I think where Loma would mess him up would be to the body coming in like that. Those wicked body shots and taking those angles to the side. Because if you're going to go speed for speed, Lomachenko's footwork was faster.
I think Lomachenko beats Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
I don't think he knocks him out. I think he just kind of just punishes him for the 12 rounds.
Blah blah says training question. As you've gone into heavy weightlifting, do you think there are benefits in the boxer doing heavy deadlifting once a week? I saw a video of Terrence Crawford deadlifting heavy. Yeah, I don't see with deadlifting. I don't see any problem with that. Viking Herm is in the house.
Being naked.
I don't see a problem with deadlifting once a week. Listen, you get stiff and slow, you're going to have to be pounding 3 days a week deadlifts. I think it will help for the strength, the all-around strength, lower body, upper body. I think it's a good idea.
Hey, Viking Herm, guess how big my biceps are? They got measured today. What do you think?
Michael Donahue, I'm going to say Ohio.
17 and a half. The guns are 17 and a half, Viking Herm. Look at that.
My gut is 17.
Francisco, without being Ohio
Leagues,
biased. I'm so
17
happy
and a
to
half.
see you, Herm. But I got to answer some of these YouTube because YouTube is usually like ones that were...
So 17 and a half cubits.
What?
I just came from yoga, aka the spicy hokey pokey.
Did you?
He does anything for love, doesn't he? But he won't do that.
Meatloaf.
Take it easy, meatloaf.
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 I loved that song when I was young.
Yeah, but it's about the song's about anal sex, I think.
I think it is. Taking in the butt.
It's either about anal or marriage.
Well, don't they go hand in hand?
Francesca says, does Porter have a chance in beating Spence?
Yes. Do I think it happens? No.
No.
But he does. He has a chance.
Herman Herm.
Esteban said, "You guys hear about Teofimo Comey? Should be a good one." I do.
Ooh.
I would take Teofimo in that fight.
I'm gonna go. That's a good one, though.
It is.
Comey could fight. I might still be too early for Teofimo with a fight like that.
Comey's
but-
good.
Yeah, he is. Guys, Sergio Martinez versus Fernando Vargas at 154. Who wins and
You
how?
motherfucker. Oh,
I'm not answering that one.
what? I'm not going to answer that. Who asked that?
Damon. Damon, quit being a...
Oh, look. Your homie, Fernando, and my family, a family member, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to throw Fernando under the bus.
Yeah.
So we're not going to, but you want to answer it, really? You want to answer that?
I bet you Roger wouldn't even answer that one.
Oh, I bet he would. I bet he would. You think so?
Yeah. Who wins? David Benavidez versus Callum Smith.
I got Benavidez, man.
Benavidez.
Benavidez is Benavidez, I think, is a wrecking ball at 168.
Michael Donahue said, what's the best amateur boxing state in the U.S.?
California,
Ohio,
Texas,
and
and
PA.
Ohio. Texas.
PA's...
PA's good. PA, yeah.
Rhode Island actually put some out
They
there.
do put some out there.
Who is the white kid? Carney Bowman.
But Bowman, yeah.
That kid could fight. He was from Rhode Island. But that, yeah, you're talking like one or two
But
guys.
you know, I really think I do. Ohio has put out so many great fighters. Pennsylvania puts them out. Michigan always throws them all out there. California and Texas are real strong. Colorado has always been strong. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know who else?
New Mexico.
New Mexico. But you know what though? The military teams always put strong fighters out.
They do. They usually get they get like one.
They had one.
Marines that I remember was Stephen Stokes. And,
Yeah, but the Army, they had one on every weight class almost.
Yeah.
When we were coming, Eric Wright was always coming through.
Remember that.
That fucking kid was good, man.
James Webb.
James Webb beat the shit out of me.
Don't feel bad.
Dude, you know what about James Webb? He didn't hit hard, but he would fucking hit you with 300 punches a round.
Fucking punches around. Hey, Lobster 11 goes, what the fuck? I log on and finally catch a live stream and comes in with that song about anal sex. Laugh out loud. Never change, y'all.
Don't go changing. Kelly Pavlik, in my opinion, you had one of the most underrated jabs in all middleweight history.
That's
boxing.
true.
I agree. What boxer today has the best jab? What do you think, Kelly?
Oh, man, I don't even really pay attention.
I think
Spence got a good one.
Terrence Crawford has a fucking fantastic one,
Yeah, he
too.
does.
Um,
I would say them two guys, and that's all I'm going to name because really those are the only two that really stand out.
What about Bivol? Bivol's a fantastic jab himself.
He does.
He kind of hurts people with it. Do you know who I thought had the best jab ever? Ike Cortez.
Yeah, but he didn't. He had the hardest jab, but he never really changed it up.
His jab was pretty though.
Smart fighters caught on to that.
Yeah. Do you know who also had a great jab that you never heard about? Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah.
Whitaker fuck you up with the jab.
He had a good everything pretty much, but yeah, but Ike Cortez though, like smart fighters started timing it and picking it up because it was like, zoom.
Oh yeah.
That was it.
He would hit people and it would go through their guards and fucking hurt them. Trinidad had a fantastic jab.
Yeah, he did. The Quag said, I heard Jesse Vargas versus Mungia at 154.
That fight was turned down. Mungia turned the fight down with Jesse Vargas.
I love Jesse, but I wouldn't have took that fight.
Jesse's just too small for that weight class. Jesse's a welterweight at most, you know?
His Francesca says his voice was breaking when telling Kovalev you won't let him have another round. So like that again.
Yeah.
Oh, they asked, how do you think Buddy McGirt is dealing with his boxer dying? It's probably in his head. Yeah.
It's probably hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I think for a lot of times, a lot of these trainers have a personal relationship with these fighters. They're not all business. They spend day in and day out with them. There's some kind of relationship there.
They do, but I also think too when you have a tragedy like that happens and it was under your watch. I think that also plays a big role in training fight, guys, and especially this close after.
I agree.
So that might have been why he said that.
But looking back, I think Buddy did everything he could do that night. He did everything that was in his hands. He knew that he was trying. He wanted to stop. He stopped the fight. He did the best he could. I would never hold that against Buddy at all. I think he did a great job.
Yeah. I think he did what he could do.
Some things are out of his hand.
Yeah. And they getting here, two guys were asking, speaking of jabs, and I was going to kind of mention that too when we were talking about guys. But Kovalev, I mean, he dropped the dude with a jab, knocked him out.
But he hasn't had that jab until Buddy. He didn't use it.
He used it against Ward.
He used that right hand a lot with the Ward. Remember that? He caught Roy with that straight right and fucking dropped him. But something was different, like the angles maybe, or maybe he was jabbing. I don't know. He just looked different.
Hey.
He had abs. Have you ever seen abs on Kovalev before?
He is Russian.
Oh, yeah, I got you. We got you. They got that Russian auto injector 5000.
Yeah.
Looks like they're putting Lopez Comey at Madison Square Garden December 14th and Williams Hurd at Barclay on December 14th. What do you want? Which one are we going to, Kelly? Are we going to Comey? Hurd? Are we going to Teofimo Comey or Williams and Hurd? J-Rock versus Hurd. I'm saying Lopez Comey at Madison.
That too.
That's December. Dude, every time we go in December, it's miserable, though. We go through one year we went through a fucking snowstorm.
And a fucking Maxima.
Yes, and a Maxima. And the second time we brought all the kids, which was just as bad. Remember that?
Did you believe in my driving after making it there with 7,500 cars off in the ditches?
Dude.
And we had one of the worst cars that you could drive in, and I made it.
It took 16 hours, but we made it.
And I didn't slide off, and didn't even come close to sliding off. The worst thing that happened was actually almost getting stuck in a parking lot at the gas station.
Yeah. Oh, Dan Siegel's on. Hey, I want to congratulate Dan for he competed in the Worlds in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I gotta get down to see Dan soon.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take my son down, and I think there's one other kid that wants to go.
Dan Siegel's probably one of the best jiu-jitsu instructors in the country.
Dan, if you let me come down with two people, I'll give you a reach around.
He will.
James will too.
But I want to say congratulations to Dan, and I'm proud of him. He's one of the best instructors ever, and his instructor,
awesome.
His instructor Vitor has won the Masters 4 times in a row, 4 different weight classes, which is unheard of. And so Vitor Oliveira is a fucking legend. So congratulations to the whole team, actually.
That's awesome as hell. David says Usyk has an amazing jab from the southpaw stance.
He does. And you don't think about his jab being so good because he's so fucking big and he's fluid for his size. I think Usyk, Wilder would have his hands full with a guy like Usyk. Is he barefoot?
Yeah, he's wearing yoga. Viking Herm's in here right now with his lady yoga. You know what? I'm not walking around with my sweaty shirt on from hitting the bag today.
Yeah, because 45. You don't work out.
I did today. 45 minutes on the bag. And the agility ladder.
Yeah, what bag?
That big one that says title.
The one between your knees.
I got a video. I'll send it to you tonight. I'll tag you on a post.
Video.
Yeah.
I was gonna tell you here too.
Viking Herm comes back here heckling me.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's some big news too, man. Our buddy Jason Bailey, you heard about that?
Yeah, he's not training
he's training
Manny Alvarez Pacquiao.
No, he's actually training a good fighter. So he's training a really good fighter. He's training right now he's training WBO the WBO like number 2 ranked guy, Kurita. So I'm pulling the whole name up. I have his record and everything. It's Carita, it's Vinny Carita. He's 23-1 and 122 knockouts out of Pembroke, Massachusetts. And Jason Bailey, our buddy, he's training him. So I just want to wish him the best and tune in. I mean, this kid. Cool. This kid has been really good. He's a knockout artist.
Fuck Jason, though. You don't tune into our show.
He is right now.
No.
He is.
I already told him today. Good job.
Oh, okay.
The Quag says Kovalev threw tons of jabs in the chest that hurt bad. Yard was complaining about it in the corner in between the 7th and 8th round.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know. I think at a certain point in the fight, I don't think Yard wanted to be there anymore. Did you?
No.
I think it was like, oh, shit.
That shit hurts.
It hurt him.
Oh,
it hurt him.
No, but I am proud of Jason. I'm glad for Jason Bailey.
You know, he's a guy that never gives up on the sport. You know,
he's a homie.
He takes time off, and he has other things going on. He's raising a daughter on his own, which I totally understand. I totally respect it.
He really is.
And he works hard. And you know what? Sometimes that shows that it pays off for the good guy. You know what I mean? Oh, when I go to Boston here for 3 weeks, he's going to take me to the strip club.
Boston? You going to drive your car?
No, I'm taking the plane. They won't let me.
Hey,
would you want me to take my car? I might not be coming home.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't go. When are you going up?
It's October. You want to come out?
Nope.
They pay for your flight. You want to come? What if I'm What if I'm dead? I need you to bring me back.
I'll send somebody I'll send a hearse.
A hearse? An ambulance?
Ambulance.
Did you see that Sling Blade? You might want to call a hearse and an ambulance. Fucking old Daryl Hargrove. Fucking Dwight Yoakam. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, you know what I want to bring up? Something that has nothing to do with boxing, but kind of does. I've been seeing this whole Andrew Luck thing play out this past week. And if I see people calling Andrew Luck a quitter and a pussy, if you're one of those guys, you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit.
Did you see the Forrest Gump thing?
What?
The Forrest Gump thing?
No.
Put it up on the green screen.
Okay, it's awesome.
Yeah, put it up there. I want to see it.
But if you're one of those guys that would call Andrew Luck a quitter and a pussy, you're a fucking
You're
asshole.
you're
a
an
piece of shit.
ignorant motherfucker. Yep. And I'm sorry about the language.
This dude played football with a broken fucking sternum. You know?
Yeah, it's the NFL. Like they said, you guys got to stop. Not you guys, our listeners, but the fans got to stop saying they make millions of dollars a year and blah blah blah. Look, first of all, they're entertainers, and you guys need them in your life because if you took football away, mother would be miserable as shit.
They'd be beating their
you would
wives
have no
and shit.
life. They go out and entertain, you pay for it. End of transaction, you know this going in. Yeah. Secondly, they are doing a lot more than the average person is. They're literally putting their health and life on the line and the rest with their family, their kids, everybody else for the entertainment of the people. That's true. So if he wants to retire and says, hey, I don't like the way the NFL is doing this for this issue. We can't take CBD oil, but you want to toss Vicodins down our throats, so we'll go out and play for you guys.
I can't wear the helmet I want because
it's a brutal sport, and the health problems are known. Granted, yes, going into football, going into the boxing ring, you know the damages and everything else. But you know what? It's still for the entertainment of others.
And you know what? I have no problem with him quitting because his wife and children come first.
Yeah.
He's 29 fucking years old.
Fuck that.
He's been in the league 7 fucking years. He deserves. That's how he wants to go out. He can go out that way. This dude left $67 million on the table.
Fucking people, they wouldn't go do it. They wouldn't go play that. If you said, "I'll do anything for $1 million," you gave that motherfucker sitting there on his couch $1 million and let him play 4 games throughout the season. I bet you would go, have that million back. I'm gonna go sit at home.
Scott Best said the dude made $95 million in his career. He don't have to answer to anyone.
He don't.
But you know what? The Colts don't have an issue with it because they let him keep the $24 million they owed him. They didn't even take it back.
Yeah. Damon goes, question for James. You made a post about the Russian powerlifting diet being as simple and more effective than the USA diet. Can the same be said for Russian boxers and USA boxers?
I have no idea, Damon. I don't know what the Russians eat for their boxing diet.
Souls.
But even in Oxnard, the Russians never ate anywhere near where we were at. They didn't. They would always go back to the team house, which is at Lomachenko's house. They would eat, or they would go to Cecilio. Cecilio would feed them.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they ate, but I know with that video that I had watched that the Russians were saying that Americans, for the most part, do too much for their diet. It's way too much. You know what I mean? They're so the Americans they're stuck in a way of thought where they need to eat rice and sweet potatoes and chicken and fish every fucking day. And the Russians are saying you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
They said if you're putting the work in, you can. It's not that strict.
But yeah, and it's hard because it's different too, though. Them Russians, they may have better vitamins. I'm just being honest. Like, I mean, it could work too. I agree that you need the food.
But you know, like the Russians say, they eat ground beef and potatoes, dude. I don't see nothing wrong. What's the difference?
Yeah, hold on. Bangarang from the Instagram. Shout out to Dan. That's where I first met James. Oh, okay. Sarah, she's on here.
Yep.
She's cool. DMRX said, wait, you won't be in Ohio in October? Yeah, I mean, if we do leave, it'll be for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, it's for the fights.
There was a good one on here. Kelly and James, you should. Okay, this one will be more for Justin.
Okay.
Kelly and James, you should sign up to a platform called Anchor, guys. It will upload your podcast to all streaming platforms for you and widen your audience.
Have you heard of that before? We like our audience the way it is because we couldn't answer any more questions. We already miss a dozen of them at a time. But yeah, I agree. There's a good question. Esteban said, James, is New Mexico an underrated spot for boxing?
We're on a bunch.
Seems the area kind of fell silent after Romero Tapia. It's a solid amateur area. But you know, with most of those areas, soccer and baseball still number one in New Mexico. But they always have solid amateur teams that do well. What region was that? Was that region 7, 8?
What?
New Mexico was region 7 or 8 because California was 14. What region was Ohio? 5. Yeah, they were 7 or 8.
But that all might have changed too. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, but still, California's been 14 the whole time. It has never changed.
Blah blah says, do you think boxers doing neck strengthening exercises is beneficial to your chin, protecting your brain?
No, I think it's beneficial for your neck.
Yeah, and beneficial for you not getting knocked out as easy.
Get that whiplash effect.
But you're still getting the brain concussed. I mean, even when you block it with your hands, it's trauma to the head.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Wayne says, opinions on the Bidarov versus Vostik unification fight.
I got Vostik. I think he's a better all-around boxer. I think Bidarov, I don't know how to say his name, but I think he's a bigger puncher, but he's too static, he's too stationary, and a guy like Vostik will beat him. But if Bidarov catches him with one of those bombs, it could go night-night real quick.
I think so.
It says, during the prelims, Scott said, during the prelims when a fighter got out of the ring, a lady with a name tag handed him a clipboard with something to sign. Look at that paper. Oh, it's a medical release, Scott. It's usually after the fight. It's usually they do a medical release after the fight, and that's what it is. Because usually, if they don't sign their medical release right away, they get what's that called? Suspended by the state athletic commission. So they sign it immediately, and it's saying that at that point, what that does, it's saying that you are eligible for their insurance for like 24 hours, isn't it?
I think it's 2 days.
Okay, Kelly knows better, but you're eligible for insurance for like 48 hours, and that if you incur anything after that, they're not held liable for it.
I believe it's like 2 days, or it was.
Yeah, because I know everybody goes to get shit fixed on that insurance, don't they? But that's what it is. It's an insurance paper, and it's a non-liability clause. That's what they're filling out. Scott, miss you too, Vato. Dave
DMRX
Smith.
said regions haven't changed. Cool. Yeah, then Ohio is region 5.
Yeah, we're 14. Darren says, I expect Loma to win this weekend, but I don't know I don't much about Campbell. Do you think this fight will be more competitive than people think? Campbell's a world champ. Campbell is good.
You need a gold medalist?
I think so. But I don't think it's going to be that competitive. I think Lomachenko is just so good. But we'll see. Campbell's tall as shit.
Well, if Lomachenko gets hit 15 times in this fight total,
they'll say he got exposed.
He got exposed, and that he's not that good.
Speaking of that, we had a guy. Help me out. Daniel Poro was arguing with me right before the show about Lomachenko being not pound for pound, overrated. He lost his second pro fight, so he's on 13-1. And I don't know how many times I can say this. He lost to a guy that's a 2-time world champion with 50 pro fights in his second fight.
Mm-hmm. Hey, nobody else.
What other fighter has done that? I'll wait. Just let me know.
Who's an overweight guy who was low blowing too, and I don't care if people don't say make excuses. I'm not. I'm just being honest.
He was dirty as fuck on him.
Who else? And that fight was a close fight. Who else has done that though? Who else won a world title in their third fight? If everybody could do it. Why ain't they?
He's beat 9 world champions in 14 fights, right?
If he goes in and spanks Tank Davis, Gervonta Davis, and he spanks him and makes him quit in 5 rounds.
Gervonta's overrated. It's not.
Gervonta wasn't ready yet.
Or he was overrated all along. Lomachenko wasn't good enough. It doesn't matter what this guy. And it's the same. It's the same with Canelo. It's the same with Lomachenko. It's the same with Crawford. It's the same with Spence. No matter what these guys do, they're not good enough. Mikey got beat by Errol Spence. Mikey sucks all of a sudden. Mikey's overrated. No, he lost to a fucking great fighter. But that's the thing. The boxing fans are so fickle. They just can't. They don't understand. People lose, and that's what happens.
They can't let it be. Cousin Day Day says, "What is health insurance like for pro boxers?
Kelly knows better than I do.
Do some elite boxers have their fight purse shrink after a grueling fight due to medical costs?" I don't know. I never had to deal with that. But okay, let's put it this way.
You guys buy your own insurance too, don't you?
Yeah, you could have your own insurance. Let me tell you this: that it's a pain in the ass to get. Matter of fact, life insurance is a pain in the ass. My dad worked for AIG, he sold life insurance, and I believe the only policy I could get out on me that the insurance company would give a little bit was for $1 million policy, which I don't have no more. It's not worth it.
What was the fucking monthly payment on that thing?
I don't know. It came out to like 68 or between 68 and 7,200 a year.
Okay, so
It don't seem that bad when you make money, but when you're retired and you got money in the bank,
and it's
why keep paying that?
yeah,
That amount. It's ridiculous.
yeah. That's fucking still a lot of money though.
Yeah.
That's
so
$600 a month about.
yeah. So that's like, but that was really like, I was that lucky. So I mean, I guess if I have a suggestion to any fighter that's maybe amateur and that, don't tell the insurance companies that you're a boxer or that you're a pro boxer.
Yeah.
And then just try to get the insurance, then turn pro.
But will they not? If they find out that you lost it?
Yeah, but you got it and you're covered.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think they would still drop you because of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question too.
There's a big ass dude walking here with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, that's Buzz.
Okay.
Let's tell him put that down. Oh, hi, Marcus says, "I love Loma and I don't know why they hate the man so much." Gary Russell, Nicholas Rigo, the list goes on.
Yeah, you
One of
beat
the best
Gary
hands
Russell's
on.
ass.
We
Gary
agree.
Russell's one of the best fighters in the world. But it's just always that way. It's the lobster in the bucket theory. If somebody's really good, everybody's gonna go out of their way to pull that dude down. You know what I mean? People don't want to admit that Errol Spence is good or Crawford's good. Crawford has no resume. What the fuck are you talking about? The dude has no resume. Look at look at his past 15 fights. Everybody in there could fight.
Everybody was monsters I beat until I knocked them out, and then they were overrated.
Right. Well, no, I mean they're talking about Ray Beltran. Fucking Beltran was a solid world champion. I mean, he wasn't great.
Nah, he's
But
rugged
he's
though.
rugged, man. But
World Breaker Fighting says, "Sup, fellas? Ohio runs boxing. What's up? What's up, dude?"
World Breaker, yeah, that's my homie right there. He wants to come on the show, and I want to get him on here because this dude knows so much about boxing.
Okay, the Quag says, "Camel is going to be a tough fight. He's long and tall.
That's what I thought too.
He won't be aggressive like Linares. Loma will win, but it will take some time to get to Camel. He'll be on the back foot, I think. We'll see. I mean,
The body will slow anybody down, and that's what Lomachenko does well. He will take your body, and you can't, whether you're on your back foot or not, you'll still get your body caught.
He'll take his time in the beginning of the fight.
And you know what? And the thing is this: when you get to this level in boxing, a lot of the height things and a lot of the reach things, they're nullified a little bit. It's not as important as it was early.
Yeah, your girl, I think she keeps saying hi and bye to you.
That's my little sister.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Sarah. That's my younger sister.
Oh, tell her. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Explain who you is so I know.
Hi there.
My Siri just went off. That's my little sister.
Oh, okay. Hi, little sis.
She's never watched the show before. I know she hasn't, but it's good that she's watching.
I guess she's watching on Instagram.
That's awesome. What? What happened? No, that's my little sister. She's been keeping track of things lately, so that's good. That's a
We
good
do
thing.
got to get off at 8 because of the Instagram.
Oh yeah, it's shutting down in a minute. But yeah, Luis Cortez, great rider too, out of Philly. But let me tell you something before we get off here about these Philly fuckers. There's a couple of these guys here. These guys go so hard for their fighters in Philly. Like they were talking about Enos. Have you heard this welterweight? I know you haven't heard of him yet. Enos.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard from a couple of them. From Eddie too, and that Enos is the best fighter in the world. that he could beat everybody except for maybe Crawford. I'm like, Enos has fought absolutely no one. And he's been like his box rec. I don't know anybody on his box rec. I mean, you can be 25-0, but I want to see who you fought first. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter, but for him to say that they're going to clear out a whole fucking the welterweight division when I haven't seen nothing yet.
Well, to be fair too, though, I was stuck in a case of biasness.
Yeah.
Last night, there was a post, and it was a white guy, and his two favorite fighters, who were the best of all time, was me and Kessler.
I saw that.
I think that's definitely a form of bias.
I think I was, people had everybody had Kessler beating Canelo. I don't see that.
Like if you had like Loma and maybe somebody else, I would say, okay, me and Kessler.
It's not you, Louis, so much. It's Eddie. He's a good buddy on the show, but he loves Enos, man. But the thing is, though, no, but everybody had Kessler beating Canelo. I didn't see it. I didn't think Kessler was all that great.
He was tough.
But he wasn't.
He got beat up by people. He got beat up by Froch, didn't he?
Yeah. I don't think he would have beat Canelo.
YouTube, Bangarang 21. How old is it too old to begin boxing for a competitive purpose?
It depends. Everybody's different.
Amateur, you could do it for shits and giggles.
Sergio started at 20.
Yeah.
Sergio Martinez. It depends. Wilder started late,
I'd say if you're over 25, and depending on what weight and weight class, 20, I don't know. Amateur, you do 25 up to however long. Pro,
I don't know. I wouldn't recommend fighting pro after 25 years old. But the thing is, it's what you think you can handle. My recommendation is start when you're a kid. Start when you're in your early teens or when you're a little younger.
Yeah.
That's where you'll learn the most. Most good boxers. I'm not saying it all, so don't everybody sharpshoot me. Most start about 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was 10, 9, 10.
9. I started about 8, 9 years old, and that's where we usually start at because USA Boxing, you can only start fighting when you're 8.
Yeah.
So
DMRX says after 40, you only box older guys and amateurs. Yeah, they do have that now. They added that. I don't know how long ago. Yeah, Ohio runs boxing. Because I agree that was bias. Thanks, Marcus, asshole. He's talking about me with Kessler. It truly was.
I didn't see that thing. I just saw Kessler versus Canelo. Do they think Kessler?
No, they said me and Kessler. The guy was like, "You're two of my favorite and top ranked fighters of all time." I'm going, oh, this is really biased.
Middleweight.
Dude.
My favorite middleweight obviously is you, Kelly, and Sergio Martinez are my 2 favorite middleweights.
Mm-hmm.
From that time, I'm not.
Blah blah says, James, you got to say where these Mexicans get their crazy hand speed. Andy Ruiz, David Benavidez, are they born with it or something they gained over the years of prioritizing speed in their training?
No, Kelly can tell you too. Speed is like it's from the cradle to the grave. I mean, it's from the cradle when you're born and you carry it. You're born with it, and you can improve speed, but you can never get fast if you're not fast. You can make your speed a little better, but either you're fast or you're not. It's the same with power. Either you can punch or you can't, and you can improve a little bit. But I don't know. I think I think Kelly knows more about the science of it, the fast twitch muscles. And
it is
as opposed and long.
And you could train it. You could work on it at a young age if you're not born with it.
If you're not fast, you're never going to be Gary Russell Jr.
No,
It's just some people have it, some people don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you have guys like Chavez who weren't fast, but they threw bone crunchy shots. And
we have to realize too, like, what is fast? Because if you're winning them fights, like if people said like my speed,
he's talking about like release speed. Or those
like
kind of guys.
you're landing.
He's talking about guys that are just fucking.
Yeah, for their. Oh shit!
Like.
I keep calling DMX, DMR,
like
Delilah.
Like
Hi, babe.
Delilah's my girl, but she doesn't text back ever anymore.
I'm gonna text her.
Crawford has a reputation from sparring. Top fighters say special resume. It is a fan opinion. The thing I like about Crawford the most, I like it because he has a mean streak. He really wants to get you out of there. He don't want to play with you. He doesn't want to show. He doesn't want to dance. He just wants to get you out of there as fast as possible. I like it. Did you hear about the guy that came to his gym and called him out? Mm-mm. Some dude didn't box. Some street fighter he called himself. He on Twitter, he called Crawford out saying that he was going to kick Crawford's ass, that street fighting is different. Crawford brought him to the gym and broke his fucking nose.
Good.
And you know what? Broke his nose, right? And I think it only took like 7 or 8 seconds, hit him with the right hand and broke his snout, and the guy left. And you know what? I like that. He didn't play with him.
Yeah, Fat Lazy Feral Cat goes, Ghost, have you ever had a 9-to-5 job before boxing, or was boxing your only job you had? I can tell you right now, homie, it wasn't enough money that I was getting from Top Rank early on. I did construction. I washed dishes. I washed dishes all the way up to a year before I won the title.
Wow.
Did landscaping.
Yeah.
I worked. It was definitely 9-to-5.
Yeah, you did roofing too, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I truly believe Crawford would stop Spence. I could see that. Who wins from Oscar Valdez and Burchett?
I would take Burchell. I haven't been impressed with Oscar Valdez as much as I should. I think he looked terrible in the last fight, but Valdez is fast. But I don't know. I like Burchell.
All right, it's 8:00.
Well, let's call it.
We got to close it up, guys, because we're trying to keep this organized. We will answer the questions as much as we can throughout the week.
You can hit us on Messenger for that, on Punchline Messenger page if you need
or just
something
go
extra.
to the Punchline page and see what you could do, see what you can get into. I'm sure there's a lot.
Yeah, tune into the Punchline page.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of boxing videos and discussion topics, which is really awesome.
Exactly, on Facebook.
You'll get a lot of history fights, like we had Duran on there. And
Yeah, so stop by, check that out. We will be back next Tuesday, 7:00.
subscribe, like, and share.
And share.
And hit that thing, the bell icon, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ring that bell.
Ring that bell. That's what we need to do.
So
Thank you, Esteban.
Thanks for tuning in.
All right. Have a great weekend.